I'm calling this ordinance committee meeting for Tuesday, July 14th to order at 6:32 p.m. Present from the administration is our Mayor and Safety Director, Kevin Kostelnik, our Law Director, Randy Clammer, our Building Inspector, Dave Menn, and President from Council, Council President, Mr. Overstreet, Councilman Spotten, Councilwoman Kroniak, Councilman Kasunik, and Councilman Myers. First thing on the agenda is a discussion regarding non-owner occupied property inspection. Anyone? Well, I wonder. Okay, so I know that when we brought this up last night, I'm not on the ordinance committee, so. No, that's okay. It's fine. Okay. I know that when we brought it up before, we had a few questions or concerns about including the interior part of it. And I think for me, the biggest thing that I felt was this disparagement between essentially providing the same service, public service, which is externally looking at the property, checking. We already have those things on the book, and I felt it was a disparity to charge the landlord for that for a large amount of money when we already provide that service to owner occupied. And I also felt, I mean, for many years, it's been brought up about rental inspection program. And the interior, from my perspective, from a safety and advocacy perspective, the ordinances that we have on the book, while good, they're complaint driven by the residents, the tenants, let's say. And unfortunately, multiple times when the tenant claims and they have somebody go in and inspect it, there might be 1 through 10 issues. A letter gets sent and says, Mr. Jack Black, you need to correct 1 through 10. The next thing that happens is the owner either says, oh, I'm selling the house, you got 30 days to move out, they make the tenant move, they come back, and they don't sell the house, they just go ahead and re-rent it out. The second thing that happens is that the landlord will say, man, we live there as the tenant, get a friend, get somebody to fix the house, take it off of your rent, and it doesn't matter what it's like, it doesn't matter how well it's fixed. It gets fixed, and then it continues. And the interior is home and the house is not complying with the tenant. And that's not being sold by just an external. So from my perspective, I would think we have more of an internal in addition to that, and I think that I would be okay with that. That's where I would go. I know. Well, I was actually looking at
because I don't think he was at that meeting, but I think one of the other points was we do always have this hurdle of how much staffing we need, and I thought some people had comments that they wanted to hear from Dave about how much more staffing we need. I personally don't have an objection how we do it, interior, exterior. I think if it was just exterior, we certainly could justify the fee because we're providing a service to essentially to tenants and landlords. I know the mayor wanted to focus, I shouldn't speak for him, but I think we wanted to focus on exterior because we were also trying to address the concern with rats. So if you remember, I think just in passing, I proposed maybe you do the first around and then the next biannual, then we add an interior inspection. So you give the landlord 1 term to get their exterior up to speed. Then we hit them for their renewal and go interior. Hopefully they can bring that up to speed. And then going forward, there should be less violations when we're inspecting the entire indoor and outdoor. I thought that might be a compromise. I think you say.
Yeah, sir. Yeah,
I think you could say every first year is an exterior inspection. On the 2-year renewal, it's interior, hoping there's no exterior problems. Then we move into the interior. So when you're at your 6th year, hopefully there's less interior and exterior. So it's not a huge burden on the landlord who's getting hit with it all at once. And maybe it lessens the burden on Dave, but he'll have to give you input on how much staff he would need to get to that. But that would also be a way of dipping our toes into it for the first 2-year cycle of knowing how.
And I suspect that it's not like the very first year we're going to suddenly have 1,000 landlords
still gonna be a problem, yeah.
It's still gonna be an issue, and I don't think it's gonna be huge innovation either,
I don't know, I would be guessing, I wouldn't know.
right?
So I don't have any objections to what you're saying. I'm curious how we go about it administratively, and Dave will have to speak to that. I don't know, how many years it will take to get to the point to have, say you're bringing in funds from the property maintenance part of it. I don't know if you can project, because just like some of the points you brought up, it's gonna take time for everybody to register, or how many will we have register, and then to accumulate the funds to support hypothetically another inspector, and Dave can speak to this again as well, because I know he's done it in his past city. But you're gonna at least need one employee, you're gonna need software, you're gonna need a vehicle, for that employee. And he explained very well to me as far as the difference between a building department and a housing department. Like in Willowick, they do that. They strictly have a housing department. They don't have a building department. So
seen as just the housing.
correct. So, and Dave can explain it probably better than me. So.
Yeah, because I know when we were, a couple of us talking, and I guess I'm trying to understand. You already have the car, you're already inspecting the exterior. I don't understand having an extra car and a secretary and another inspector to walk through the interior. Nobody's saying looking at electrical, all the visual inspection seems to be the same action as doing the visual inspection on the exterior. I don't know necessarily why that would be a large increase.
It depends on what you want out of the interior inspection, I would say.
Yeah.
But again,
I want to make sure that water is coming down and that there's not visible mold and that owls are covered. And general things that are safety things, but that are also indicative of business ways that came from the inside. And I think that can be done visually. I think it's not fair to say that because you go through the house on the interior, you now need a car, and the secretary, and other walk the exterior operation to be this way.
I understand that that's what you think.
Right.
But if we let Dave speak to the concerns, I'm more comfortable with what he has to say. Right. Not that and again, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just worried about the time frame if you write it into this one. But if Dave says it can be done, then it can be done, but my concern.
Not responding to neighbor complaints, because then
like
you
can't
win.
If we write it in that says in 2 years we'll start this phase of it, and we find out in 2 years we're not ready to start that phase, then what do we do?
You have 2 years. I mean, yeah, I agree. You have 2 years to get ready.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I'm just asking the question, if
we're not ready in 2 years,
we're not
we
ready,
figure it out, it's not a problem.
then what do we do? That's more of a question.
I think Mayor, if we 2 years, 2 years would be good, because you'd have the data points, so
right.
You may or may not be ready, depending on how quickly people are registering.
Right.
But we can deal with it in 2 years.
And in that same vein, the concern of mine is, okay, well, let's pass this for exterior in the hopes that we're gonna be able to do this in the future, and then that gives us.
No, you put a hard deadline on it. One year exterior only, and then following, I can't speak for the rest of the council, but I don't agree with the first year they do exterior and then they come back and do interior.
I was proposing 2 and 2.
Right, but you do the first, I think the first year when you're getting the program up and running, you do just the exterior, and after that, going forward, you do everything.
We're saying the same thing.
And then to address what you're saying, keep in mind, you're going to be asking your staff to do an additional 500, 800, 1,000 inspections a year that they're not currently doing. So you certainly do not have the staff to perform that.
No,
and I think we should let Mr. Menn speak and let him kind of give us some input, some parameters and his thoughts, and then we can kind of. kinda kick it around from there, so.
Right.
Mr. Med?
Okay, first of all, we do not go on the inside of a house and do any inspections at this point. Tell them to call 211. They call them. I assume we never hear back from them. I can count on one hand how many calls I get for an interior inspection. The exterior is what we want to take care of. The exterior is what everyone sees. It's not being fair, oh, well, we're there, we can do the interior, this, that. It is a big difference. Right now, we are a building department. I have certified guys that do building inspections along with grass. And right now, we can't even get off the rat issue. I'm more than willing to do, it seems like, I don't know if my opinion's gonna matter either way, because it seems like a lot of opinions may be already settled, but we do not have, the computer system we have right now is one we would continue with, but we would have to add that program capability with that. How much that's gonna cost, I'll just throw out a number. I could be crazy, I could be totally wrong. 15, 25,000 maybe, I don't know. And if it's a lot less, great. If it's a lot more, well, then we deal with it. Yes, the program will pay for itself eventually. But when you first get started, it is rough. Getting people to get the inspections, trying to follow up. Say I give John a notice to get his rental. Okay, give him 60 days. Then I have to remember in 60 days to get John to come back in first, give him a second notice. So there's a lot of things to look at. You know, how many notices you want to give people, how much of a time frame to correct things. There's a lot of issues that I think have to be talked about before you just make a snap decision. And I know this has been talked about, I guess, many of years in East Lake, and it has failed. I agree. I think there should be a program. I'm not against having a program. But I think we should think about exactly what you want to accomplish. And I would say right now, if you want, I would go with something like a 2-year exterior program and then kick in the interior. And then you could change the, whatever fee you want to come up with at this point. And then when you do the total house, you can bump it up. But let's first get the exterior going, try to get that accomplished, get that going, and then add the interior. I don't understand why we all of a sudden have to go in full blown, do interior, exterior. But again, my program will not hold that. So you can write that in, but we're not going to do it. Simple as that. It has the capability. If you want to put in right now to do interior and exterior, go ahead. But I'm going to tell you, we're not going to do it. I don't have the capability. So.
Well, I think any of the sites you should be doing them tomorrow. I do think that it's been conversation that we're the only city that does not have a running assessment program.
I agree, and I said I agree.
Yeah, I'm really
I said that with Mr. Spotton, we've talked about it. I talked with Mr. Myers, I believe, before it. I mean, Mr. Overstreet even wanted to do it.
different timing, different administration.
Yeah, I mean, we've all talked about it. We just got to do it. but I gotta get things lined up. Yes, eventually, a vehicle, yeah, you give them an old police car or whatever, drive around and something like that, it's not a big deal. But you do have to have a person, and maybe you know, you wanna go with Wilwick. Wilwick is a housing department, they're not a building. So they have more people, and all their people are housing guys. Menor has a split, they have housing and they have building. Willoughby, I'm not sure if Willoughby still does any rentals, but they have a separate housing or zoning person. We are gonna be all in one. And, you know, at times I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot. You may not think so, but it is gonna be a lot. But, you know, you guys can decide what you wanna do. I can only lay it out there for you and tell you the best of my ability what we can do.
So Dave, do you feel like starting with 2 years, you would be comfortable also writing in the same ordinance that in 2 years we'll start interior? I think that's the question, right?
If you wanna do a 2-year, let's say you wanna do a 2-year or a 1-year program. Either way, when their second year or second time comes up, then that's when the interior, exterior would kick in. And it's enough chasing them down just to fix what they have. There's a lot of times when you have a rental program, and I don't care what any other department wants to tell you. You cite people, and after 2 years, you're going back and you still see the same problems not being fixed yet. It just comes down to manpower. It just comes down to being able to go back on the inspection, rewrite the violations, send them another letter. But I believe we should do something. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, where were you at before? You at University Heights?
University Heights.
Do you remember offhand the residents and how many, like,
We had 800 inspections for about 4,000.
That's for rental inspections?
Yeah.
And then
Usually you can say a quarter of your population is
did you
But-
have one employee dedicated to that, do you remember?
Yeah.
So basically one covered 800?
Yeah.
And did they have a separate car and everything, then they just get in and go?
Yeah, they have their own car. But again, the car's not, I don't want you to hung up on the car.
And keep in mind, Dave will attest to that, UH has John Carroll University, they have a
Sure,
lot
yeah.
of rental properties up there that are
And
that
it
are
was
college
low
kids,
key
things like
just
that.
to get back. But I will tell you this, you know, I don't think people look for it. And you go look at that as a bad thing, and I'll take that ball for it. But will say, up in the Heights area, they do rentals, they do houses, they're big in it. But they have housing court. We do not have that here in Lake County. My opinion of the Willoughby court is not very good. I'll just say that. I'm hearing guys taking one court case, took over a year, and almost every day he sits there for almost 8 hours. It's crazy. You want to get results, you gotta also think about what are you gonna do when someone doesn't fix his.
Was University Heights interior as well?
Yeah.
Was.
But again, what are you gonna do when they don't fix it? You're gonna just give them 90 days to fix everything?
But that's the same argument that we have with any ordinance.
I understand that, but when it comes time to go to court,
And the same against exterior. We make the same argument against exterior.
correct, we're gonna take them to court. So, you know,
I think you're just expressing the frustration that the residents feel, wondering if there's not progress. It's because we have this tough balance every time.
I mean, we'll get results. We'll get some results. Are we gonna get immaculate properties? Absolutely and we're not asking for that. But, we will get results, and I believe in it. I think we should have something. I will not say we don't, or should. We do need something.
Maybe as sort of a compromise, maybe you do something like, you pass exterior only for the duration of 26 and all of 27, and then interior starting in 28. And that would give you time to accumulate some funds, it would give you time to do the research on the software and the personnel you're going to need and everything else. So that would give you, almost a year and a half.
Could I recommend that it just be any first inspection, whether it's 4 years from now, their first one would be exterior, and then in 2 years would be interior, or do you want to do it based on dates?
No, I think we should,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
So you want to do 2026 is just exterior, 2028.
26 and 27 till you get the program up and running, and you add interior in 28. I think that seems reasonable.
Would that be enough time, Dave, in your mind?
Yeah, a year and a half.
You know, I didn't work on getting, the bids for the programs, all that. The other thing you have to watch, you start citing electrical things on the inside. You better be a certified electrical inspector, because you're starting to certify citing things. You better know what you're doing.
Do we have somebody on staff now, or that's?
Yeah, my guys are, yeah, I'm certified, obviously, but I'm talking when you bring someone else on.
Right.
The state of Ohio always was against frontal inspections, because who was doing the inspections, but, yeah, I wanna talk about it a little bit more, I'm sure we can hammer it out and get it going.
Why don't I just take a shot? You want
Why
to
don't-
take a shot at a draft like that?
You guys comfortable with, I think we talked before maybe about using Willowick as a framework?
I think we did, and I removed stuff, so yes. I think we used
We
Willow
could
as a
let him
framework.
take a shot, Mr. Spot. That seems reasonable.
Well, it wouldn't be the next inspection, it'd be their next time up to renew. Yeah,
No, you're gonna be about 2 years.
you wanna inspect that. Yeah, so when their anniversary date's up. Yeah, their anniversary date. So if I did your house June 1st, so in 2 years, June 1st. Yeah.
Inspection.
And I haven't been against it. I know what it does. Exactly. And you gotta look at where you want to start with your dollars. I don't care what you do with that.
I'll take a first shot and then get you and Mr. Gully and, who's the chair? You're the chair.
I think there's only 2 of us on the committee, correct?
And then you guys can circulate it as appropriate.
Yeah, so we agreed then we'll have him take a shot at it.
I think that's fair. Then you figure out what you want.
We'll hold it in committee, we'll schedule ordinance committee meeting for the first meeting back, see what you have for proposed ordinance.
We got a couple weeks, now you're going on break.
We're going to break, so you have plenty of time, so, yeah, and then we can kind of hopefully get this up and running in August when we get back, and get this moved forward.
Yeah, I think everybody's on.
It does. What the order, they've got people here to speak on it. Want to go over a few minutes, give them 10 minutes? Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the, discussion about the noise ordinance.
I'm sorry, and I'll be brief, I didn't expect to run over so much.
It's all right, if we've talked, if we have to go over a few minutes, we will, it's fine.
So essentially, I was asked by several officers and also residents, some of whom are here, I believe Mr. Conenow and a couple of other people I can send an email. With regard to issues that have occurred with Chagrin Tavern, specifically since they've expanded the area and repositioned the station where the music is coming into. Everybody wants it to be successful, I think that's a given, and talking about the residents, they all agree with that. The problem is that the unnecessary noise ordinance that we have on the books is very gray, it needs a lot of area for officer discretion. So the officers were specifically asking for better guidance, more in line with what village may have, which is a little bit more specific to boundaries of the properties, and even goes a little bit into the decibel reading. We don't have a decibel reader, we never have, a lot of cities do. That allows the officers to use the decibel reader so there's no question as to how loud it is. So EPA normally requires an ORC that's 50 to 55 dBA for residential, commercial 55 to 50, and industrial doesn't go beyond 75. Those are very loud. Some people are registering, I think one resident at 120 on a decibel reader. So, and these are going on from 6:40 in the morning, all afternoon, sometimes during bingo days on Wednesday, it goes on all day long. So it was just requested that we take a look at the ordinance and see if it could be tweaked a little bit, more in line possibly with what Willoughby has, and then also to give an opportunity for residents or maybe affected by it. Essentially, that's in a nutshell. And I did forward Willoughby to everybody in the email along with what East Lake is currently. It was requested by one of the officers to please put in there about restaurants and things like that to be a little bit more specific. And once again, the property line. So here's just an example. If I call and I'm on Gateway and I say my neighbor is, there's an unnecessary noise. The officers will drive by our home, primarily if they can hear it from the street, they'll go ahead and say something. Problem is that my bedroom is 10 feet from the person that is behind me. The noise is coming from there and it's bothering me as I'm trying to sleep. The officer in front of my property by the street is not hearing what I'm hearing. Because it doesn't go from that property line, and the officer isn't checking that, it's getting overlooked. And when one officer comes and says, oh, it's not a problem, and the officer the next day says, oh, it's a problem, then the businesses are having an issue because there's contradicting things to the officers. So they were just asking me for clarification.
And we don't have anyone from the police department here, correct?
No, I've been in discussion with Lieutenant Cullian and Chief Leonard about it since 3 weeks ago when it was first brought to my attention by the officers, and then it came up even more so recently. But I've been talking to them about it.
So if you're talking specifically about CT, it sounds like
It's been multiple, but specifically that the other one was over on 340th where the man is building actual dynamite in his garage and he's blowing it off. Willoughby also says that fireworks and loud noises like that is also part of their unnecessary noise thing. So you don't necessarily get them on that, but it's the noise issue. It's not just CT, but specifically CT.
where would, out of curiosity, where does that leave the captain's fireworks?
Well.
Or hypothetically, if they ever have a concert.
So one of the things about movies that's really nice is that there's a variance. So they actually have a variance for having that specific activity. And that can be given by the city or the CDO, or it actually extends for safety directors. Did you see the email that I sent you in there?
Which,
Okay. So it says in there that
guess you'd have to clarify which email. I saw that.
So that's why, and
But their restaurant,
to be fair, there's not exactly housing right there, but.
their restaurant noise section, though, I'm only asking this, to see if you see something different.
510.07, I think.
It's essentially the same as ours, our unnecessary noise section, in the sense that it's vague in the sense that it's disturbed peace and quiet, but Willoughby's is essentially the same as ours. Are you saying that do they have the decimal readers in the department?
They don't.
Okay.
And that was what one of the officers suggested. Because it is, because that is more of, it's not, I hear it and it's not that loud. So I hear it pretty loud. It kind of clarifies.
Yeah, I mean, it is subjective, I get it. But it's the same as what Willoughby has.
And I think one of the things that they were discussing was the boundary from the boundary of any property line, not just from the front 500 feet from the front.
What we could, if we were to do something, it's up to you guys, but I would say over a certain amount of decibel is per se unreasonable and detrimental to the peace and quiet of the city.
Right. Do something like
Which leaves a little flexibility in those cases where maybe a home is super close and the decibel is lower, maybe it's still a violation.
right. And
But in the same regard, you could make it a little higher for areas around the bar if you want to, because some residents may have moved in after the bar was there. And that's a risk that comes with it.
well, I think that should be in there for people.
I understand, but
Because I don't live there, but, right. And it's gotta work. And I will say that simply just since the expansion, the way that they manipulated the stage, that all of the music on the sound is coming up this way, whereas it used to come directly at Trent Cabin. It doesn't do that now, so it's all the way up. So it's.
I know, Chief Warner has an appointment with the manager there. He's already spoke to them once, and I for sure know that they have lowered the decibels since the very first day.
They put up extra speakers and amplifiers in my house.
Ma'am,
That could depend on the band too.
right, yeah, you'll all have an opportunity to speak. You'll all have an opportunity to speak. It's okay, you're fine. No, I understand, you'll be given an opportunity.
It's understandable.
Anyone else? Mr. Kucinich?
It's definitely an issue. I know that, when it comes to noise, noise bounces a lot off water, so I know for people who live near the river, I can hear it at my house, so certainly if you live, even closer to the area, you can certainly hear it, and it's certainly very loud. The other thing, that I have had, complaints at times about, but even for me personally, is the motorcycles and the, cars and things like that just go through they'll wake you up at 1 in the morning. Some people are jerks, they just don't care. So I think, I think the police have said, it's mostly an enforcement issue. It's just so difficult to enforce. So if a decibel reader or something like that, if that's something that, if we should look into that, if that would help enforce, then might be a worthy investment. That's just what I'd say about that.
Anyone else?
I just will say really quick, it was explained to me not only on people's reporting to their homes, but even the body cams, which are now in police officers' uniforms, were picking up how loud it was, because they were having a difficult time talking to the neighbors, because the officers did go door to door to other neighbors to talk to them, what they were experiencing, how they feel about the property. It was so loud that the officers couldn't hear the people. So it was just, but that's the great thing about body cams. So,
if you,
as far as enforcement goes, and an officer has a serious experience, as they certainly are.
if any of you want to peg it to decibels, give me your thoughts, I don't appropriate that.
Can we maybe look and see if,
I'll do research too, but
I was gonna say, can we look and see if other cities have it,
decimal.
have it set at a decibel level, I'm sorry. Something like that, and that would give a framework someplace to start.
Yeah, I looked at ours and it's all pegged towards, health, peace, and quiet.
Right.
Just like Willoughby's, candidly, but Willoughby doesn't have a bar like we were talking. Willoughby doesn't really have a bar that plays like that, if that's the issue, or on the river, even, so we have to accommodate.
Yeah, check out the ORCDA levels in residential, commercial, industrial, and the AHO, which is the highest one, like, CPA is.
I play an instrument, but I barely play an instrument.
I think you're looking at a lot of research, but that's fair.
I'll look at it. We got a few weeks.
So full committee, you wanna leave this in committee? And then also, yeah, I'm for leaving it in committee also. And then also too, I think we should have either the chief or a representative at the next meeting, so we can get some input from law enforcement. Okay?
Because I do know one thing they did
Anyone else?
say is that the decibel meter, when you're using it in the court, has to be calibrated a particular way, so that's the one that's correct.
Or you mean for the meeting? Yeah. For the meeting? Okay. All right, with that being said, then, I'm going to open up the floor for recognition of the public. Floor is now open for recognition of the public, 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. Please state your name and address for the record if you'd like to speak.
It did take it back to 11, it was variable up until this year. So they added 2 speakers on the patio that stayed, which was very constant. I literally cannot watch the TV from my house. And my TV's at 100, I can't hear it. I can't, my dogs going crazy. And then, and you talk about a motorcycle or a long car. That happens for a minute. We are living with this for hours at a time over the weekend. Even the bingo game on Wednesday night, I can tell you all the bingo numbers in my house. The officer came to my house. He could hear the band on the street, and I have a very long driveway. The birds, it's like the band was right there in my driveway. It just dawned above and beyond keeping up. It is now affecting my house, my kids, everyday living, and I shouldn't have to do that. I've been here 17 years. I grew up here. Versus Kirkland, versus Manitonia, versus that, number one. And officers and dispatchers have said, well, that's what I should say. They don't care. When we were this close, we paid out taxes. I'm not trying to put them out of business. I know it's good for our state, but they have to be respectful of us. And there's a lot of elderly people on our street right now that are very sick, and they couldn't be here. It's affecting. So, I'm just asking for maybe they can lose the speakers, the amplifiers, that make the house. I have my TV on, I can't watch the TV. I don't use my own phone. Neighbors go to the movie theater. Do you want to live like that? Thank you.
Appreciate it. Is there anyone else who wishes to address council?
If you don't mind, I'll read this.
Yes, certainly. You can have your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Walt Ryan, I'm at 35683 West Island, right? I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you in regards to the ongoing excess snow and grading, collision grade sale. First, I'd like to give you a little history of my role. My in-laws purchased the property on West Island Drive in the mid-1960s to bring the building of the apartment home to enjoy the peace and quiet beauty of the river. That dream was realized when my father-in-law finished building the house in 1973. Having just left the military a year prior, I'm fortunate enough to others in my family help him complete it. My wife and I lived the Grand River, the Grand Tavern, and open. Our Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, became on great. We put a lot of music, radiating from across the river. Currently, it's not only a weekend, but several weekends during the week. All of the days even to the previous year, all did not help. Hopefully, until now, we will see some progress in that issue. I'd like to also, if the mayor and council doesn't mind, I'd like to read my email to the mayor and members of the council to kind of clarify and give you a description of what's going on. My email, I wrote, "Dear Mr. Mayor, I'm writing this, as I'm writing this, it's currently 7:50 p.m. on July 25th, 2026. This was actually on June 25th. The current condition remains the same. My doors, windows, and house are vibrating from the excess noise radiating from across the river, especially the drums and bass guitar. As I have to do every weekend, I pull my brakes closed, shut my doors to drown out the music that's in all day. I will also need to turn up the volume on my television to drown out the noise inside. Unfortunately, this will continue until 11 p.m. tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon, possibly several times during the week. As you must know, this has been an ongoing issue for some time, and has gotten worse this year. The large speakers that have been installed on the front of the building facing the river and our houses. I and my neighbors have called the police department repeatedly complaining about the excess noise. Been told that an officer sent over there asking the local volume, which doesn't happen. That there's nothing they can do until it's ended. But until 11 p.m. And first of all, I was told that this is the price you pay for living where you do. Which, at that point, I had to know to the people. My last call, a couple weeks ago, I was told by the dispatcher in so many words that there was nothing was going to happen because of that, because of the other clock. Generally, it always seems to come back to that magic hour of 11 p.m., regardless of how loud and disturbing the noise is. At times, I've actually measured the noise levels of several paths, well above any decibel. There has to be a limit on how loud the noise is allowed to be, regardless of the time of day or night. I'm sure if I played my radio full volume, and when my neighbors complained, the police would call over and have to turn that off. I've read and understand the city of Eastlake noise ordinance and agree with it. But it seems that everyone forgets the first paragraph of the ordinance, which states, "No person shall make, continue to make, or cause to be made, or continue any loud or disturbing noise of such character, duration, and intensity as is detrimental to the peace and quiet of the city and to the residents thereof, or to be detrimental to the life, health, and comfort of any individual." As a 77-year-old senior and Vietnam veteran, I can honestly say that this situation is detrimental to my life, my health, certainly my family, and my neighbors' comfort. It's gotten to the point that my anxiety, PTSD, increases as the weekend approaches and certainly more trying to ignore the noise. It's gotten to the point that we have on occasion had to leave our house in order to escape the noise. Please do not misunderstand me. I have no issue with Mr. Brintel himself, and like seeing the patrons being able to spend time and enjoy the beautiful river. And I understand it helps bring additional revenue to the city. And in speaking with my neighbor, we all seem to enjoy the music. It's just the ridiculously loud volume that is so upsetting. Neighbors as far as Gavin Drive and even Lyncher Boulevard have commented to me on how loud it is. On behalf of my wife, neighbors, and myself, I'm requesting that you, council, look into the matter, not to eliminate the entertainment, And I personally invite any and all of you to come to my house any Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and listen to what we have to go through every weekend. And during the week. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, I did record, please, ignore my wife's, comment. She loved this song. This was on my porch. And it doesn't get required inside.
Appreciate it, sir, thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to address council? All right. That being said, this ordinance committee meeting is adjourned at 7:18 PM.
I'm calling this council a whole meeting to order at 7:19 PM, July 14th, 2026. All members of council are present except for Councilman Gully. Members of the administration, Kevin Stolick, Mayor, our law director, Randy Clammer, building inspector, Mr. Min, Mr. Rubertino from the building department, our super service department, our city engineer, Mr. Boyer, and, our finance director, Carolyn Schindel. If there's anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public, please identify yourself so their fellow attendees know they are being recorded. Seeing none, the city of East Lake is recording this meeting. First on the legislation proposed 07-1401, resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and finance director to accept a donation on behalf of the city from John Myers for the East Lake Concert Series for a total of $500 and declaring an emergency.
That's really what all it is.
Okay. Item number 07-1402, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation on behalf of the city from Verdantis for the city fireworks for a total of $1,000 and declaring an emergency.
That's exactly as it says.
Okay. 07-1403, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a grant from the Elks Lodge for the fire department for purchase of fire hose for high-rise packs for a total of $1,750 and declaring an emergency.
Fire chief is very excited to be able to accept this grant after you approve it.
Okay. 07-1404, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a grant from Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation Board of Directors for the purchase of one Lucas chest compression system for a total of $20,000, $546.10, and declaring an emergency.
This is something that the fire chief had applied for and was very excited to have the opportunity to present before council.
Okay. Any discussions on any of these so far? Okay. 07.
I have a question, if I could just go back to one prior to that, would be, fireworks. Just out of curiosity, everybody that makes a donation for fireworks, you have to accept it and make it catalog, correct?
Yes.
Do we have a list of any and all persons who donated for fireworks this year?
I would have a listing in finance, but I don't have one on me.
Okay, if you could get that, then I would appreciate it.
It would have been anybody that came before council up till now.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Item 5, 071405, an ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the City of Eastlake, State of Ohio, for a period of beginning January 1st, 2026, and ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. We have a change to the stormwater. Again, I mentioned it once before that I had put a lot of money in towards labor, and instead this year a lot of the money went out for subcontracting, and I can't cross those lines of labor versus subcontracting, so I am asking your permission to be able to move that so we can continue to spend and buy supplies or hire outside contractors. As for the general fund, you had approved us providing money to the Port Authority, so the budget hadn't been allowing that at the time that we had passed the original budget, so we need to make changes to the budget. That's 20,000 of the 27. And legal and administration is because our contracts took a little longer than we were hoping for in the unions, and therefore I just need a little bit extra. I don't know how much of that we'll spend, but I'd like to have enough to be able to pay bills as they come through for the rest of the year.
Okay, any questions? Okay, 071406, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police Council, Inc., civilian unit, dispatcher unit, patrol sergeant, and lieutenants for a contract period of 2026, 2027, and 2028, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That is something that you will go into executive session for.
Okay. 071407, a resolution addendum to resolution number 1994-106, adopted by council of the City of Eastlake on June 28, 1994, establishing a community reinvestment area which now encompasses all homes and commercial structures within the boundaries of the City of Eastlake, and declaring an emergency.
This is asking to include the entire city in the CRA area and making it 50% as opposed to just the one area. It's an attempt to compete, so to speak, with Willowick and Wickliffe that have both done this, and it's something we can offer not only our residents but our new businesses to draw them into our city rather than or opposed to other cities. It also is something that you could hypothetically say could go hand in hand with your property maintenance ordinance and inside and out of your housing inspections that can give our residents a break on their taxes if they chose to improve their houses.
Will there be any, opt-out areas like in Willowick where it encompasses the whole city, but there's two areas by Laramar and then the other area, over by Shoregate? Those are opt-out areas, those are not CRA. Is there any areas that we would not be listed in?
No, we'd like to include the entire city and give every resident the opportunity to take advantage of it, as well as businesses.
And I think ours, maybe if I understand part of what Willowick did, at least for Laramar and what have you, those would have been new construction. Our only new construction in here is for homes that were demolished for a condemnation order and new construction, so that may address the part of what you're thinking. You know, I don't know. You're not speaking of them as well. That would be the, see where it says, construction of every demolished structure, so that's new construction.
Mr. Myers.
I have a couple of questions. So first and foremost, so this will apply to homes, residents, and it will also apply to businesses.
Correct, it could be offered to them.
Will that, when it applies to businesses, will it apply to projects that are already ongoing?
Not until you pass it, but it wouldn't include something that's already taken place.
What I'm saying is if somebody is currently in the process of something, Okay, and once this is passed, and once this is approved, will this break come into, will be in effect for that project?
No, it should not.
I would not think so.
What you're trying to do is get a business to say to redo their storefront.
Or their signage, or their, like what
Apply
happened,
for it, yes.
like what happened on Vine Street before, when we did
Correct.
this the last
Correct.
time, correct?
But I certainly could imagine somebody that came forward and said, I'm having a problem finishing the project, can we make it work with finding what
So then, my other question would be then, you have this for the city in general, the city as a whole, and we're not looking to pass this for anything, any projects specifically?
No, absolutely not. It's really just community development and trying to keep pace with Wickliffe and Willowick, because, for an example, I've had 2 phone calls already regarding the Con Selmer property, and the first thing they ask is, what can you offer me?
Tax abatements and things like that.
Right,
Correct.
so this is something we could offer them, hypothetically.
Okay. I have no further questions.
But can that be offered on a case-by-case basis, or do we have to declare the whole city a CRA in order to take advantage of that? Because I believe, Carol Ann, we could think that, we have come to us before and asked for tax abatement or something.
That's a tax incentive based on, payroll taxes and bringing more payroll into the city. This is totally different. This is reinvestment in a structure. And so they get a break on the property tax versus us allowing an income tax credit.
Right, no, I totally understand now. I guess what I'm saying is, can it be done on a case-by-case basis, or does it have to include the whole city?
We're asking that it includes the whole city. We have 1 change left. You're allowed so many. We are on our last one. This is the last time we can ever change it, so we're asking to do the whole city.
Yeah, you have to pass the community reinvestment act to get those breaks, because there's other players in the tax structure. But
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, going back to, I forget the date of the ordinance, when they passed
94-ish.
they outlawed it in the revised code, and they have a corny provision in here that any city that's already passed one is entitled to 2 amendments and no more. So, Judy and I spent a lot of time trying to nail down how many amendments we've had. I believe this is our only last shot, so part of the reason doing the entire city is that way we've done it. I think Willowick did the entire city.
So did Wickliffe.
Did the entire city. If I had to guess, probably because of that.
Find out real quick, it encompasses the entire city, each, household or business has to file an application, which is gone over by a small committee, and then I don't know if they can move forward or not. And for your road, you can opt out areas, those are funded by 600, they were not included in. So what is this committee that you're talking about, who comprises the committee? Well, we have to figure that out, like, who's going to be on that, the mayor, clearly, probably myself as economic person, and none of us.
The existing one we have is administered, I think, by finance, never, that I can recall having anybody take advantage of.
That's legit.
So there's no strong infrastructure in place to manage those things.
It's really just a tool to try and help the city improve, and that's what we're here for.
No, and I hear that, no, and I appreciate that, this is new for us, I think, I actually bring up this for me, so understanding and asking these questions,
No,
at the bottom of, okay, we are using this multiple times, we're trying to do this, okay, that leads us to another comment, a committee, who's on the committee, what is the committee about, how does it function? There's questions in here that I don't have answers to, that's why.
No, that's fair.
Anything else? Okay, the next 2, 071408 and 09 appear to be the same wording. An ordinance authorizing the mayor and city of Eastlake to enter in to an agreement with the Lake County Board of Commissioners to participate in the Urban Entitlement Commission or Community Block Grant Program for the utilization of funds made available by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, they are both the same. It was a mistake coming in back and forth, trying to get this in, rushed to you before you all went on summer break. But, this is in order to be eligible to be a part of the CDBG program. And so the county commissioners, and actually the federal government requires us to pass this to participate in the urban development, yada, yada, so that we can be eligible for funds.
So we need to do both of these.
It's really only one.
It's really
They're the
just
same.
one.
We can eliminate one.
I'm sorry?
We could take one off of the agenda.
You can take one off.
Like number 9.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
take out
you
9.
can take one off.
And last,
I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Regarding
Sorry.
this. For Ms. Schindel, or maybe the mayor, regarding the CBD grant. So on the CBDG, we normally do this through the county. Isn't it correct to say that this is something we could apply for and do ourselves? I believe the city of Mentor does.
Believe that certain cities do this, but the paperwork involved in trying to satisfy the federal government would, be a big project in order to arrive at funds, whereas, and you have to know your poorer or your areas that are qualified based on the feds. So it is, easiest for us to apply through the county at this point in time.
And then my other question for you is regarding this legislation. Is it my understanding that there's a time frame involved with this? We have to get this back to the county fairly quickly?
I think so, because they had come through with new wording, so I believe that is the case. That's why we tried to get it to you to this meeting. I believe it is.
Okay.
Anything else?
We do have the opportunity to opt out of participating in CDBG as a center, correct?
That is a very, significant amount of time to try to get some monies through the federal program, and we have to work within the designated areas that the federal government has provided. And I will say that it really is a big paperwork job, really is, to apply to the feds and then to monitor it all and to administer it all. It is a lot easier to work with the county.
And if an area isn't designated, as a HUD housing area or has a particular lower income designation, we don't qualify for that particular part of the grant. However, if we do accept that grant, that designation drops.
No, I've never heard that the designation drops if you don't accept the grant, no.
So if you accept the grant for a year, because you have to be blighted, correct?
I wouldn't use the word blighted, but there are certain areas that the federal government has.
I think you have to use the money for the designated.
For the designated area,
You do.
absolutely. You have to use,
That's it.
yeah.
And I think
It's a designated area, but regardless of what you do, there will always, regardless of what you do, be one area of your city that is designated for wording, but blighted. But it will always be there. It will move from place to place.
It moves.
But it will always, you'll always have one area regardless of what you do. So,
The object is to fix it.
being a part of this, I want to say, Brian might be able to help me here, but you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars that we've been granted and done road work with in these areas. So if you choose not to do it, and we don't have the manpower or the people or to get it done on our own, you're passing up millions of dollars,
The captain's
potentially.
parking lot as well.
so we
Yeah.
use CBDG money in the past
Every year,
for
every year,
Okay.
Yeah.
year after year after
Grants.
year.
Ramps, the stadium parking lot, we've used it for a lot of different.
Mostly roads.
Uh-huh.
All the handicap ramps that went on Vine Street. I mean, we've used, do you have a rough idea, Brian, even, since you've been here?
I don't have the dollars added up, but I mean, yeah, pretty much every year there's an application that goes in.
It's millions, literally.
Yeah, and I know, I read through the grant, I know the, usage, you're entitled to use it for a very broad range of projects.
Correct. And it could be storefronts on, you know.
It could be pretty much anything as long as you can justify it, basically.
Correct. Correct.
Anything else? Okay, last item, 071410. An ordinance amending chapter 155, employee provisions and compensations, section B of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, that will be included in your executive session.
Okay, we have nothing, no legislation pending and no miscellaneous. This council as a whole meeting is adjourned at 7:38. I'm calling this regular council meeting for July 14th, 2026 to order at 7:39 p.m. Mr. Myers, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik.
Here.
Ms. Rainiac. Here. Mr. Spotton. Here. Mr. Myers.
Here.
Mr. Overstreet.
Here. Okay, next, the approval of the agenda for today's July 14th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of July 14th, 2026?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers.
Here, yes.
Ms. Rainiac.
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Okay. Motion carried, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting of June 23rd, 2026?
So moved. Second.
And seconded. Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Ms. Rainiac.
Yes.
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the council as a whole meeting for June the 23rd, 2026? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Ms. Rainiac.
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes, motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Okay, the next regular scheduled council as a whole meeting will be scheduled for Tuesday, August the 25th, 2026 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council as a whole meeting. There is also a special council meeting set for July the 21st at 6 p.m. to discuss the appointment of a replacement person for the seat vacated by Mr. Semick. I have two motions on the list for tonight. Motion to approve a liquor license transfer number 10015638-1 from Shari Ambaji Ma Inc., doing business as Vine Street Tobacco and Beverage, to Piranha LLC, doing business as Vine Street Tobacco and Beverage, located at 33337 Vine Street. Is there a second to this motion? Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes.
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Ms. Rainiac.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Motion carried. The motion is approved. Okay, there's a motion to adjourn into an executive session to consider compensation for public officials, namely the fire chief, police chief, finance director, mayor, administrative assistants, Assistant Finance Director, Chief Building Official, and Service Director. Is there a second?
Do we wanna hold that till the end of the meeting?
We got a vote on it, it's part of the 155 package.
I would suggest if we put that legislation all the way at the
Yeah,
back end of the
move it to
agenda,
the end of the
and then we could have the executive session right before we consider that legislation.
We're gonna have two, right. Rather than have everybody wait while we go into executive session. Right. Vote to move into executive session at the end of the regular council meeting. Are we going to have to go into executive session and then adjourn and then come back in? What we can do is stay in for, okay.
Okay, so we can bypass 6 and 10 and do the executive session and come back and vote.
You're right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to communication petitions. We have none. Committee reports.
We had an
Mr.
ordinance
Myers.
committee meeting, this evening. On the agenda, we discussed, property inspections, exterior and interior. We agreed to hold this in committee until we can receive some, draft legislation from the, law director, regarding moving forward with both an exterior and then at a later date, some interior, inspections. And then we also, had some discussion about amending the noise ordinance here in Eastlake. And again, the law director is going to come up with some examples from other cities and present that to us at the next meeting. And, we also heard from some residents regarding a lot of the noise down on the river. And so, we've tabled that until the next meeting, and we'll be looking at that when we return from, summer break. And I'm open for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Myers?
Mr. President, before you go into the, public comment, I know it's not a committee, but I am the city's representative for the Chagrin River Watershed.
Okay.
Mind if I make a brief report? August 1st, they're having their canoe kayak float. It's basically just a tour of the river, that will be via canoe. ODR will bring out their canoes. And anyone who wishes to participate, just contact the Chagrin River Watershed Partners to reserve a spot. So again, that's August 1st. It's a really good opportunity. It's free. You can go out and see the river and get a free tour. So I encourage everyone to do that if they are able. So thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Can they bring their own, or do they have to use what the ODNR bring?
So yeah, you can, if you have a kayak, but just make sure that when you reserve your, time, that I think you can bring your own. Yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to public recognition. The floor is now open for the recognition of the public. I remind speakers that all remarks will be directed to the chair and will not involve personalities, and are limited to 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. We had 2 people signed up, but they left already. Is there anybody else that would like to address council? Please state your name and address for the record, please. Anyone else?
I would just like to add to that, that although I appreciate the school board member arguing for the school system, we are concerned with the entire city, and we're trying to improve the entire city. And anything over 50% is all you need school board approval for. So if it's 50% or less, we don't need to go to the school board for approval. Just so you're aware.
Anything else? Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to legislation proposed. Will the clerk please read legislation 071401?
Resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation on behalf of the city from John Myers for the Eastlake Concert Series for a total of $500 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 071402?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation on behalf of the city from Ordinance for the city fireworks for a total of $1,000, declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? I second. Will the clerk please read the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 071403?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a grant from the Elks Lodge for the fire department to purchase fire hose for a high-rise tax for a total of $1,750 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Motion carried. Legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 071404?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept a grant from the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation Board of Directors for the purchase of one Lucas chest compression system for a total of $20,546.10 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Ms. Craniac? Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton? Ms. Craniac? Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 07-1405?
An ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the City of Eastlake, State of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2026, and ending December 31st, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? So moved. Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Sputton? Ms. Craniac? Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? I move to adopt. Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Ms. Craniac? Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. Motion carried, legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 07-140, not correction, we'll move on to that. Let's see. Will the clerk please read legislation 07-1407?
No, that was 6.
Yeah, we bypassed 6.
A resolution addendum to resolution number 1994-106, adopted by council of the City of Eastlake on June 28, 1994, establishing a community reinvestment area which will now encompass all homes and commercial structures within the boundaries of the City of Eastlake and declaring an emergency.
Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? So moved. Is there a second? Okay. This will be first reading. Will be placed on second reading at the next regularly scheduled meeting. Will the clerk please read legislation 07-1408?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the City of Eastlake to enter into an agreement with the Lake County Board of Commissioners to participate in the Urban Entitlement Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, and for the utilization of funds made available by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended and declaring an emergency.
Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Mr. Overstreet?
Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. The motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Now, there was a previous motion to go into executive session to discuss the 155.
We do reports first?
Oh, yes, correct.
Or they could sit here and wait. I mean, that's fine. That's fine also.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys have nothing else to do, right?
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Mr. Kostelnik.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, Acting President, members of council. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to council for the back and forth and agenda changes and late notices. It was us as the administration trying to get everything in before your break, and 100% on the administration and putting everything together, and at no fault whatsoever of your council clerk, so I'll take 100% blame for it. Other than that, Willoughby Summer Theater will present A Salute to America in the gazebo on July 21st at 7 p.m. This is a patriotic program celebrating the nation's history and will include a musical tribute to active and retired members of the armed forces. This is a free event. Bring your chairs and enjoy. Mark it in front of City Hall on Saturday, July 18th from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. The next concert will be, or the next two concerts actually, Monday, July 20th and Thursday, July 23rd from 6:30 to 8:30. And July 25th is Christmas in July at Jackson Park. Eastlake residents have free admission that day with an ID courtesy of the city. August 4th is National Nights Out at Jackson Park. If you care to volunteer, please see Ruth in the police department, the victim's advocate. And that concludes my report, and I'm open for questions.
I'm sure maybe a lot of you have heard about, since we're talking about what other cities do, about the elderly lady in Willoughby who her yard got away from her, and Willoughby took her to court, which that's what they're supposed to do. I'm not mocking that. What I am saying is, I don't know how many times I've said to people when they call and complain about their neighbor's yard or this or that, I will say, have you ever taken the time to knock on the door? Can I help you? And the answer is always, no. Why would I do that? Okay, we'll take care of it, or we'll try to take care of it. So I'd like to hopefully people keep that in mind. That's it.
I will just say, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's really important. But don't disregard that people don't do that. Our Black Ops program is putting in a whole new ramp for a person who's in a wheelchair who's incapacitated, and for 17 years we've had volunteers that go out, practice, double, do all of that. So I want you to know there's a lot of tools in this.
No, I understand. I'm talking about the people that call me. Right. And calls the department and I'll say, bitch. Right. And I said, if you ever knock on the door and see maybe they're got an issue, maybe they would appreciate that. That's what I do understand.
Mr. Rupertino. Good evening, everybody. So we were able to secure another rental street sweeper, which has started out today, will be on the roads for the next 30 days. So patience has worked out. I appreciate that. We are getting them cleaned up. We are hogging out starting today. We started hogging out on Green Drive. We have multiple in the city that will be addressed. We also spent a couple of weeks cleaning the creek along Lakeshore Boulevard. I don't know if anybody noticed the cleanup was done there. We had like 7 major wood blocking dams, I guess I would address them. So it was restricting the flow of water coming down from Ward Creek in through underneath Lakeshore and then back down along that creek. So we've got that pretty much cleaned up. And we are continuing to move forward, and hopefully we can get some asphalting and some concrete work done here soon and keep going forward. With that, I'm open for questions. Any questions for Mr. Rupertino?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today was the lane changeover for State Route 91. That should be the last of the major changeovers while they get the median finished up. And then it should be a home stretch for getting that project wrapped up this construction season. Once I get some final dates of when we expect the full lanes to be opened up, I will let council know. Lakeshore Boulevard Bridge Project, they had their switch about a week ago. and so they're working on the other half of the bridge. That project is moving along nicely. They're about a week ahead of schedule, so all things, going well, weather holds out. Hopefully that continues to keep their schedule on pace. That's all I have. I am open for questions.
Any questions for our engineer? Ms. Shindell?
Thank you. I had another set of auditors in last week. These people wanted to see our locked up file server. They wanted to see the sprinkling system for the server. They wanted to see the fire extinguisher for the server, as well as other questions of Talix BPI. I believe that they probably were pleased with the answers that we provided them. I have nothing more to report. I'm open for questions.
Any questions for Ms. Shindell? Mr. Clammer, you're up.
I apologize, I left something off my report, it was kind of important. So we did have Apex Pest Control out as I mentioned at the last meeting, we had them out for an evaluation. We've also got a quote from them for the areas that they recommend that we go ahead and bait, and we are gonna move forward with that, and it's 17 different areas, and that will begin in August. Or did we go this month? It'll start this month because it's billed on, or it's a bi-weekly price. So that will begin this month, just so you're aware. That concludes my report. Again.
I have a question. Are you able to explain what the mandated effects or what department they do?
If you remember the one we had earlier in the year about the billboard moratorium.
I remember that one, yeah.
So we won that one, they turned around and refile it, so we have to defend it again. I think we're still in the same position. I don't think that they're right to the billboard vested. It was a few days before you guys passed the moratorium, so they believe it vested. I don't think they do. And the other one is, respectfully, it's a pro se guy who sued the court and sued Jackie, our prosecutor, for some record that he wants, which we candidly believe we've given him a couple times at this point, so I don't. That's what a mandamus is, but I think he has the record. If there was something he was entitled to, I'd gladly give it to him again, but it's hard sometimes to understand what the pro se people are demanding. So unfortunately, we got to go through the hoops, so it could be pending for the next few months. Those are the only two pieces of litigation.
Motion to adjourn into executive session to consider compensation for public officials, namely the fire chief, police chief, finance director, mayor, administrative assistant, assistant finance director, chief building official, and service director. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Craniac? Mr. Spotton? Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Okay, we are in executive session.
No, you need to do the second motion, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a motion to adjourn into executive session to prepare for conduct or review negotiations for bargaining sections in public employees concerning the compensation of others, including the FOP unions? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Craniac? Yes. Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Spotton? Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes. We are now in executive session.
No, you're fine. He said they had to be two separate votes.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Is there a motion to return from executive session? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Ms. Kraniak. Yes. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. We are back from executive session. Okay. Yeah. Here's the file. Okay. Will the clerk please read legislation 071406?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, Inc., Civilian Unit, Dispatchers Unit, Patrolmen, Sergeants, Lieutenants, for the contract period of 2026, 2027, and 2028, and declaring an emergency.
Okay. Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak. Yes. Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Kraniak. Yes. Mr. Spotton. Yes. Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. The motion carried. The legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 071410?
An ordinance amending chapter 155, Employment Provisions and Compensation, section B of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake to read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Ms. Kraniak. Yes. Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Motion to adopt?
I move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kasunik.
Yes.
Mr. Spotton. Yes. Ms. Kraniak. Yes. Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. The motion is carried, the legislation is adopted, and we are done.
What? Yeah, we should skip the meeting.
Alrighty.